Hey YouTube, it was rough. It was a rough start today. I'm gonna just go over, actually before, those videos can be separated into two parts. The first part, I'm gonna talk about the team builds that I saw today and the Pokemon that I saw today, so you can better understand why I dropped so much and then how you can team build going forward. And then I'm gonna go into the battles. So if you just wanna watch the battles, timestamp below. If you wanna get into the team build, so in terms of team build, I thought that this would be a Ducklet Cup, but I think everyone else understood that. I said go Ducklet, Galarian Stunfisk, and you can't go wrong. And for the most part, I overestimated Ducklet and underestimated Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk was everywhere today. I think it's because one of the best answers to Ducklet, plus it can just deal with, there's Charmers, there's Poison Sting people, there's Poison Sting users, there's Dragon Breath users, right? So we just, Stunfisk being so spammy and so strong in general and resisting so many things made it show up everywhere. There was still a decent amount of Ducklets, but not as much as I expected. But there was a lot of these steel Pokemon hunting Ducklets. So Galarian Stunfisk, Steelix I saw a bunch, which I made one on my own. I'll tell you about that when I go to my team build. I saw Skarmory a few times. So a lot of people hunting the Ducklet with their Steels. Quite a few counter user save swaps. Mostly, I have a double. I ended up building my double for this. I saw a lot of Vigoroth save swaps with the counter. Just again, counter body slam spam is very strong in this meta, so it was not surprising to see that. And then it was a mixture of people that either went the spammy route for charge moves or the fast move damage team. So I actually had a Steelix double charm team that I lost to, where it's just Shadow Steelix. I should actually put the Shadow version up here because mine was a Shadow as well. But I saw a Shadow Steelix with two fairies. So Shadow Steelix with Dragon Tail and Double Charm. I saw a double Dragon team, a couple Dragon Breath teams. So I saw a bunch of those just like hard, fast move damage teams. I also saw a lot of spammy teams. I saw a lot of Scroopies with the Poison Sting Aqua Tails. That thing just spams like crazy. I saw a few Swinubs, Powder Snow, Icy Wind, Body Slam, like that spams like crazy. And for the most part, that was the majority of what I saw today. One or two Whoopers, a lot, like I said, a lot of Vigoroth, Dino. Yeah, Dino is the Dragon Breath user. So it was a somewhat small meta. Like you did have the sort of random ones. I saw Golbat. I saw Badoo with a Razor Leafer. I think one of the losses, I have like Gliscor that I saw once, twice. So, and I saw a Chansey safe swap, which I just about killed myself. So that was the team builds. So what happened with me? So let's go into how I got here. So I initially started with, it's so funny because Yonkers put out the team this morning and I was just like, oh, come on. My starting team was Ducklet, Pika Libre in the back with Diggersby. Same idea though, right? He has double electric. I had Diggersby as a ground with Hyper Beam to deal with just everything. And I guess too many people were both hunting for his team and the Ducklet. So I lost a lot of that. And then I just started, I like the Ducklet and Pika Libre core. So I started putting in a second Pokemon, third Pokemon. But I don't believe in the algorithm. But I swear to God, every Pokemon I tried, I just got hard countered. I put in Dino and Altaria. I got hit with Charm users. I put in... what else did I put in? I put in Swinub. I got hit with counter users. I put in... What else did I try? I put in Bulbasaur. I got hit with the Ducklet against it. Or like, what was the other one? Or like Skarmories. It just seemed like no matter what I did, it did not work. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Too many people are using Steel. Too many people are hunting Ducklet right now in the range that I was in. So I kept trying. I went 2-13 to start the day. I lost 100 and 150, 170 ELO. Dropped really far down, mid 2500s. I've lost like over a span of 8 sets in the last 2 days. I've dropped close to 400 ELO. So I was like at legend, and now I was at mid 2500s. And I'm like, okay, time to build for what I'm seeing. Even though I didn't want to spend dust in this, I built up the double and I built up the Shadow Steelix and got the Pico Libre because I like Pico Libre just because it's just great coverage. The flying press, almost the hardest thing you get walled by is Cottony as a grass fairy. It's really the only thing that completely walls you. Otherwise, you can Thunder Punch most things and screw Thunder Punch. You can flying press most things, which is insane. It's such a hard hitting move. Steelix was just great in the fact that it's out of these three, it's the bulkiest. It seems like the bulkiest, and the Dragon Tail Psychic Fangs. Even in bad matchups, you're just like between those two, you're just doing great. So I stand with counter, like because you're double weak to counter between Steelix and double. So I stand with counter users. That's fine. And then double was like I didn't have a Vigoroth. I looked for a Vigoroth below 500. I do not have one. I had a double below 500 that I can build up, so I built that up instead as the safe swap. So I went 8-2 with this team to get back 80 of the yellow that I lost. So now I'm at like 26. I don't know, 26 something. So down on the day, but salvageable. In this matchup, so let's go over the battles now. I'll have to timestamp 3 things: the battles, the discussion of teams, and then the whatever. So you see right now I'm just running Psychic Fangs on this alone. I eventually TM'd on Crunch just because of all the Galarian Stunfisk I ended up seeing. In this matchup, it's fine just to go Dragon Tail and Psychic Fangs. Lower their defense. Dragon Tails are going to add up because of it. Even if they lower my attack, which again, they do, and then it comes pretty quick. But that is okay. I will win switch here. The worst case is seen in the back is like a Cottony. But again, there's your Stunfisk, which is 100 times. I'm running Wild Charge on double. You might be thinking, like, why are you running double? Because in this matchup, you have nothing to throw. It doesn't matter in this matchup because the double kicks are doing all the damage that I can just go basically double kick body slam. Like, I don't really need to land that payback. And then, especially if they shield the payback, it's just kind of useless. So the double kick body slam is more than enough. And the Wild Charge is better for Ducklets and just general flyers and other. I think it's just quicker to get to and stronger for what is a cup that does not have a ton of hard hitters in this, right? But the body slam, spam, double kick combo come in handy here. I'm going to build up almost to a thing and then come in here. They first lower my attack, and then I get the flying press off, which does not quite take out. Pico Libre is extremely, extremely, extremely glassy. Everything is glassy in this league. Pico Libre is extremely glassy, as you're going to see right here, that they Thunderbolt and take out an over 50% health Pokemon with a resisted move. But at that point, I'm already at the body slam, so I will take it out for the win here. There's a couple matchups that I'm going to win. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a couple matchups I won where just like, whoa, these Pokemon are wild because I'm just like facing like 20 people in the 2500s. Altaria, so this is a great lead. They're eventually going to have to get out, and they get out into the Stunfisk. Like I said, I would not be surprised if I saw in 25 matchups, I probably saw 12 to 15 Stunfisk, and Steelix is on a lot of teams too. It was just tons of Steel hunting the Ducklet, right? So just be aware of that. But they usually pair it with like Altaria, a flyer that will deal with the double counter user. I got one shield. I don't need to shield this Earthquake because I have basically 2 answers for this. So I'm going to come in here and see what they come in with. And they come in with the Vigoroth. And again, this is what I'm saying about like, it doesn't matter too much about a counter user because they need to throw body slam. So the counters would add up, but able to take that decently down. And now Pico Libre, the Thunder Shock with Thunder Punch combo is just going to spam like crazy. I'm going to get to another one before they get to a move here, which is great. This will put them low. I think we see P-tie too. Yeah, which is huge. And then I can let this go, Dragon Tail down, and then Dragon Tail Psychic Fangs to take out what is left of the double, because the Psychic Fangs, I mean the Dragon Tail does a ton of damage, right? And there's not much that you can really do about that unless you resist it, unless you're still can resist it. The Dragon Tails from a Shadow Steelix in this league, unless you're a Fairy or Steel, is going to do a ton of damage. And that's kind of why Steelix was like the MVP for me in this. And again, this is not a repeat of the matchup you're seeing here. This is, again, an Altaria. I think this is not a repeat of the match you're seeing. Because I remember, we're going to let this play out. I don't think it is. No, because that's just a Rock Slide. Because that's just a Rock Slide, so I can farm down now. So it is different and come out with multiple moves. That's fine. Is this where they come in with not the Altaria? They come in with something else? They are like, nah, we're done, fam. Okay, maybe they were super weak to Steelix. This matchup is, you're taking super effective for the mud shots. I'm like, maybe it has a mud type move. It's like, no, it does, but the mud type move is Earthquake. They only have Night Slash. So I'm like, oh, that's a waste of a shield. But that's okay. They did not get the boost. I will Psychic Fangs and just farm down. They do get to a move here, which is unfortunate, but I'll live. I'll come out with some energy. Out comes I don't even know how to pronounce it. Anyways, out comes a Pokemon that is not gonna enjoy these the Dragon Tails. Out comes a Nidoqueen. I am able to get this off. I'm gonna have to instant swap here because Nidoqueen actually beats my backline in its entirety. And now I just need to get 2 Body Slams off before they get 2 Poison Fangs. So I can't really take a move because then they just Poison Fang me down, and I do not want Pika Libre on it. So I need to shield that, get the 1 double kick and Body Slam, and I think I just get it to the 2nd Body Slam before they get to, I think they need 1 more, that one, and then they would have got it. But I guess the Body Slam, I've already lowered their attack with the Psychic Fangs, so able to take that out there. Little Cups are stupid. It's crazy. So Vigoroth lead, again, I'm just going to stay in here because it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. They will be able to take Switch, but Body Slam is resisted. That does a ton. They can eventually throw Body Slam and take me out here, but again, I'm weak to counter, and I took this within 1 HP of being taken out. Right? So that's great. I'm going to get the double kick off. They got a couple counters through. So be it. I could have come in and maybe not taken that. I could have come in there. Flygon, and this is your double dragon. You have a Dragon Tail Flygon with Dragon Claw, and I get hit with a Dino in the back that just, again, they overpower you. They overpower you with both 3-turn fast moves, so they're going to sneak through a Dragon Tail each time, and now they got a Dragon Breath Dino to come in and just overpower Pika Libre. I can't get to 2 moves. That's the problem. Pika Libre is so glassy that you cannot get to 2 moves. So if you're gonna, that's the problem. A lot of these fast move damage teams, I probably lost to the Fairy one with something similar. If you don't have a hard answer for them, like a Steel to resist these Dragon Breaths and these Charms, you're gonna have a tough time. So just keep that in mind. This one, I was like, what are you doing? You're throwing resisted moves. You're taking a ton of damage from the Dragon Tails because they're both Shadow. I'm like, I don't know what this move is, so I'm just going to shield because everything hurts. If they're not getting out here, they're probably weak to this in the back somewhere. Out comes a Steelix of their own, which is fine. I'm going to get this off, this Crunch off, which will do good damage. I'm just going to immediate swap. I don't want to get like farm down. I can survive a Crunch or Psychic Fangs, so I'll probably just let this go. There's a Psychic Fangs. I'm thinking maybe they have a double Steel, right? Maybe that's the reason they're not leaving. They have a double Steel, and they probably think I have an answer to it. No, they have a Drifloon, which is interesting, but I am running Wild Charge, which means I'm going to get to these moves before. It's not like you're shielding up a payback and I need 2 more. I am at double Wild Charge, so take that out. That one was a pretty easy matchup. So I went 8-2 with this team when I eventually switched over. has its weaknesses. Again, you're double weak to ground, Pika Libre Steelix. So worst case scenario, you're seeing like a Galarian Stunfisk on the lead. Again, a lot of people won't have Pika Libres under 500. You need to hit Legend, and then you needed to get it, either re-roll it or get it on a Go Battle Day, which is what I did. 697, just that's what it was. 492 CP. So you might not have it. So if you don't have it, I don't mind the Steelix double or Steelix Vigoroth combo. I would, having played this today, I would go Steelix or Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk is preferred if you have it, but if you don't, Steelix is fine. As your Steel user, double or Vigoroth as your counter user, and then something in the back, honestly, for Cottony would be my suggestion. Like, Pika Libre is not an answer for Cottony, but I just like Pika Libre. I thought it was fun to play with, and it just hit so hard. So you might want a... actually, you don't need a Cottony. You do not truly need a Cottony answer if you're running Galarian Stunfisk, right? Because the Mud Shots, Rock Slides is fine. It's worth the Dragon Tail. You're just going to get, it's just tougher with resisted on, I mean, Mud Shots are resisted too, but at least you can Rock Slide spam and you resist the Fairy type moves as opposed to just resisting the Fairy type moves here. But you go throw resisted Dragon Tails, which is slower to get to the Psychic Fangs, which is not a super hard hitting move, right? The Psychic Fangs' main thing is to lower your opponent's defense so your Dragon Tails do more damage, but they don't do more damage on a Fairy Pokemon. That's it. If you have a team, let me know. I'm not opposed to building up Pokemon if I have them. That's the thing. Like, I would want to use Galarian Stunfisk. I don't have it. I would want to use Vigoroth. I don't have it. I'd want to use a Skarmory. I don't have it. So I'm kind of limited in my pool of Pokemon that I have. In terms of what I have, and I may try, I'm going to try back to Ducklet. I know a lot of people are just hunting Ducklet right now, but I think Ducklet is still very strong. So I am going to try it again. I don't know if I have a Scroopy. I have Cottony. I don't know if I want to do Cottony. Again, I have the Dragon Breath users, Altaria. I have Dino. I have Swinub. I don't know if I have Scroopy. I have Wooper. Have Onix. Some of these other Pokemon I'm unsure of. But that's the thing. I did not really see anything outside the top. I mean, Shadow Skarmory is for 41. But outside of that, I did not see any of these other Pokemon as I go down the list here. It was really everything just inside. I guess I saw Zweilous at number 58. And Pika Libre is... it's actually Pikachu Libre. Everyone just calls it Pika Libre. Pika Libre. Yeah, there's nothing this low. The problem is when you get down to like the 80s and stuff like that, like this stuff is, you're now looking at like Swamperts and Charizards and Haunters and Togedemaru, and so a lot of these Pokemon are the evolutions, and they're very, very, very glossy for what is already a very glossy league. So yeah, maybe I'll try something like Ducklet, Steelix, and then something to deal with Stunfisk. Which again, there's not a ton of things to deal with Stunfisk right now. Wooper, Steelix, Ducklet, Wooper, kind of leave Cottony as a tough issue. So what are the hardest answers to Stunfisk? Pelipper? No. Wooper, Obstacle, Scrafty, which are, again, trickier to use. I mean, you can use them if you have them that low. Swampert. I do actually have a Swampert below 500. Vigoroth. That's why I think Vigoroth is really, really strong. And that's the main losses, unless you're going these normal fire typings like Leo, Incineroar, Pyroar. There's not a ton of things that beat Stunfisk, which is why it is now actually ranked. Ducklet was ranked number 1 on PvPoke before, but now Stunfisk is actually ranked number 1 over Ducklet, and Steelix is 3 and Shadows 3 and non-Shadows 4, which is not surprising considering how strong I found it today. Anyways, what was 8-minute battle is now 20-minute video. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know what you're using. Let me know if there's a Pokemon I should be trying, or let me know if you're playing Ultra League and I can switch back to that. You're going to have an Ultra League team coming tomorrow. It's a modified of my Legend team 2 seasons ago, which worked well. So stay tuned for that, and then I'll figure out what else I want to try in this league. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.